All right, beautiful people of the world, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for the 2nd of April, 2021. It is Friday here. We've got the moon moving through the middle to later degrees of Sagittarius, leaving its conjunction with the south node, releasing what no longer serves us, continuing that bit of pruning. And today, as the moon opposes Mars, 17 degrees the moon in Sagittarius, 17 degrees Mars in the sign of Gemini, we can find ourselves being emotionally restless. We can find ourselves being slightly agitated as there's something next. Maybe we're just wanting to get out of work so we can go on to the next thing at home, or the next thing, or the event that's going on in the evening time. So it's kind of watching and putting our emotions in check and just taking step by step, pacing one by one. As the Sun and Venus are also in the sign of Aries, sometimes we can want to put the carriage before the horse. So we want to make sure that we're taking our time and not rushing anything. And Mars at the 17 degrees of Gemini as well, something we've talked about in the past. This is like crazy stairs, that MC Escher painting or drawing that just kind of going around in circles. So if we're feeling stir crazy, just kind of going around in circles in our minds or in our actions, wanting to figure out that next thing to do, if we find a creative outlet for that thing to do, whether it's exercise or sports, something healthy. And as well, we're going to have a T-square happening between, here's the moon opposing Mars there, 17 degrees. It's a lovely trine energy happening all the way down here to Venus and the Sun with the south node, allowing ourselves to move further in letting go of those things. If it's addictions or people or whatever it is, that emotional pruning that we've been doing, cleaning our garden to prepare ourselves for the next step. To not be too agitated with that next step, or when we want that next step to be now, like something we talked about the other day about planting a seed and not having it bear fruit immediately, to not allow ourselves to get restless in that or agitated when we don't see the results that we want. And Mars, Mars is not only the planet of action, but it's also, the god of war, aggravation. And its moons, Phobos and Deimos, mean fear and terror. So we can find ourselves getting a little bit more worked up today than we might normally do. As the moon continues its journey through Sagittarius, it's going to start to square Neptune. Mars opposing the moon opposing Mars square to Neptune square the moon. We've got a little T-square happening here. And this can be getting lost in La La Land, getting lost in the dream world, getting lost in that MC Escher staircase when we're just trying to seek the escape route door and we're just kind of go around in circles. Again, this is a great opportunity for us to take that fire energy that we're feeling and do something productive with ourselves, something that's going to be beneficial with ourselves. Coming back to exercise, yoga, meditation, if we can sit with ourselves, sports, anything like that. As well, this dramatization can be going on here with the moon square to Neptune, where we can be living in a fantasy world. While the Sun and Venus here in Aries are saying stay present in this moment, this square here can be off in space. And it's important that we stay, there's a balance. It's not staying just present or just living in La La Land, living in the fantasy world. They both have their unique benefits to them. But if there's something happening, it's like if we're daydreaming while driving our car, or we're out at the park and someone throws a frisbee and we're not in this present moment, we're out here, we might get hit by that frisbee, and that might create a little bit of aggravation in our lives, right? Then the moon is going to move forward and start to square Mercury. So it's not just dealing with our dreams, but we're dealing with communication. Mercury in the sign of Pisces deals with, it's a different aspect of communication. It's the ethereal, it's the esoteric, it's the spiritual communication. So it's finding a healthy balance between this restless energy, this living in a bit of fantasy, staying in the present moment, as well as being able to communicate from a grounded place, taking the spiritual knowledge that's coming in, the insight that's coming into ourselves, and being able to apply it, perhaps in writing, perhaps in sharing with a group. This can be a great day for group sharing as well. If you're into dramatics such as stage or theatrical plays, this can be a great time to get lost in that. That's a great time, that role-playing kind of exercise, putting on like a different hat, putting ourselves in a different position. Maybe if we write this certain way, or if we paint this certain way, or we have a creative outlet that we're used to doing our certain way, this can be a really great opportunity and time to put on that other hat and try a different style of painting, to try a different style of writing. Really, really cool energy. Seeking, allowing ourselves not to get too riled up if something doesn't go our way, understanding that there's going to be a certain amount of anticipation throughout the day. Okay, that might not leave us even when we leave work and get on to what's next. Then it's, come home and do this, and then it's work, and then it's food and the dishes and all, we can be a little bit too ahead of ourselves. So coming back to the breath, coming back to spirit, coming back to the present moment is going to be beneficial for us throughout this day. My friends, thank you as always. Have a happy Friday. I love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.